Okay, good afternoon, everyone here. So, our honorable judges, respected audience, and the opposition team, welcome to the room. My name is Fabian, and we are on a government bench firmly believe that scripsi should no longer be main graduation requirement for a bachelor degree. We do not reject research, we reject the idea that one single format must define every student's academic worth. A degree should reflect competence and readiness, not the ability to survive long, rigid formatting rules. Okay, so now I will present 5 of our main arguments. The first one is scripsi does not represent real employability. Workplaces value performance, digital literacy, teamwork, creativity, and problem solving. Recruiters ask about portfolios, internships, and experience. They rarely care about thesis title that students spend 8 months writing. A journalist needs published work, a designer needs a strong portfolio, and a programmer needs functioning software. However, the system still treats writing ability as the universal standard for intelligence. The second one, it creates inequality. Many students spend extra money on private tutoring, proofreading, data analysis services, even paid thesis writer. Those with money finish faster, those with struggle longer. This makes graduation dependent on economic privilege, not skill. And the third one, there are more valid alternative. We propose multiple graduation pathways, industry internships, evaluation, capstone product, innovation project, community-based research, professional portfolio, and students who want to pursue academic careers may still choose scripsi. The difference is choice. And the fourth one is international education have moved forward. Example like universities in Singapore, Canada, Finland, and the UK allow different graduation models depending on career goals. Research for those pursuing academia projects, for those entering industry, and both systems coexist successfully. And the fifth one is applied work benefits society more. A campaign on digital literacy, an app that helps local healthcare centers, a documentary about rural education, and these outputs live longer than a 90-page paper stored in repository. So the conclusion is scripsi does not need to disappear. It must stop being only graduation key. We want a system that respects different talents and futures. Thank you. Then next, Olivia, is there any arguments?
Okay, thank you, Fabian. But we strongly oppose the motion. Government promotes flexibility, we promote intellectual foundation, and flexibility without depth creates fragility. For first argument, if scripsi becomes optional and critical thinking becomes optional, it means optional critical thinking is the same as no critical thinking training at all. A university degree must not certify only skill but reasoning. A portfolio maker without analysis becomes technician, not scholar. Example, a communication graduate launches a viral campaign. It spreads misinformation unintentionally, harming society. Why? Because they never learned literature review, search verification, research techniques, and scripsi prevent this. For the second argument, government overlooks macro impact. And removing scripsi means fewer students experience methodology, literature synthesis, and academic defense. This reduces research interest, reduces innovation output, and reduces policy analysis capacity. Notices it means no researchers pipeline. And the third argument, government equates pressure means harm. We equate pressure means preparation. Example, doctors train under pressure. Engineers design under pressure. Scholars debate under pressure. Removing difficulty removes growth. Fourth argument, if students struggle, improve coaching, simplify templates, introduce research workshops, reform within the system is better than destroying its academic structure. Fifth argument, countries leading in innovation like Japan, South Korea, Germany, all enforce undergraduate research. None replaces thesis with portfolio. Why move backwards while others move forward? Skripsi is more than a document. It is intellectual discipline, ethical training, and evidence-based reasoning. We reject this motion. Thank you.
Okay, I will extend the government's stance with new arguments and rebut opposition claims. For our first arguments, plagiarism proves the system is broken. The thesis rule today is flooded with templates, copies of previous works, repeated topics, and paraphrased literature. If a system encouraged imitation rather than originality, the system is flawed, not the student. You cannot preach academic purity while students survive by copying. For our second argument, alternative system already work globally. Polytechnic Singapore assesses through final project and industrial attachment. Canadian universities use portfolio-based evaluation. UK design programs graduate students through exhibition. Their graduates are globally competitive, proving that Skripsi is not the only valid standard. The opposition team will claim Skripsi builds discipline. Yes, discipline matters, we agree. But real discipline is tested through execution, deadlines, stakeholder management, and real impact. A student who finishes a 6 months internship with measurable results demonstrates more applied discipline than someone repeating revisions for formatting errors. They may also argue quality will collapse without Skripsi. We answer, quality increases when evaluation matches the skill needed. Relevance creates competence, not conformity. And for our third arguments, freedom reduces mental burden. Students differ. Some excel in theory, others in design, productivity, problem solving, or innovation. A flexible system motivates students to work at their best, not their most precious state. And for our fourth argument, economic impact. Instead of spending months adjusting chapter revisions, a student could build a business, produce media work, or work professionally to support their family. That is the real empowerment. So in conclusion, government brings a future-ready model. The opposition defends a past that no longer fits reality. Thank you.
Right, thank you Tigas for your arguments. Now I will deepen opposition logic and dismantle government narrative. For the point 1, government claims Skripsi same for the outdated. In the truth, Skripsi is evolvers. Students may conduct field study, case analysis, production-based research, experiment, and desk study. Skripsi is not a cake, it is a method training brain stamina. For the point 2, government promotes portfolio as equal evaluation, but portfolio has no universal benchmark. Two portfolios with equal design quality may have different research effort behind them. This is creates measurable academic weight. Portfolio quality can be aesthetic but shallow. And for the rebuttal section, rebuttal 1, government values skill. Theory. Theory is the backbone of innovation. Without research, products are created fast but weak, untested, ethically blind. And rebuttal 2, Government blames skripsi for plagiarism. Plagiarism is moral failure, not academic structural failure. Remove skripsi and plagiarism, shift to portfolio dev, project copying. Problem simple, change form. And the last rebuttal, government say thesis irrelevant for future jobs, but critical thinking is relevant in all jobs. Negotiation, journalism, consulting, marketing, public policy all acquire evidence-centered thinking.
Continue.
Okay, and for the extend argument, sorry ulang. Alright, and for the extend my argument, university is not only to produce workers, it is to produce thinkers, critic analysis, policy makers, strategy planners. Remove skripsi and university become vocational academy. Conclusion, government offers convenience, opposition over intellectual endurance. We stand firm and thank you.
Okay, thank you Akbar for your argument, but here I will stay with government because my task is not to add the new argument, but to weigh every class and prove government superiority. Debate is won by comparison, not repetition. Let's begin with the big question. What does a degree represent? Opposition says research. Government says capability. Capability is broader, more inclusive, more reflective of future roles. The first point is competence measurement. Opposition limits competency to academic writing. Government measures competence through demonstrable output. For the example, a marketing student running a 3-month digital campaign with real analytics shows more practical skill than a student writing theoretical literature review. Who will employees choose? Real outcome will win. Okay, the second point is real impact versus academic storage. Scripsy lives in a repository, rarely read again. A community-based project changes real village. A portfolio creates employability and income, which contributes to society more and more. The answer favors government. The next point is mental health and the cost factor. Opposition says stress builds character, but stress with purpose builds character. Stress from formatting, binding, and sentential revision builds nothing but exhaustion. Education should develop intellectual growth, not academical survival trauma. The next point is about research integrity. Opposition fears research collapse, but current scripsy culture already collapsed research integrity through plagiarism. Government provides a rescue. Those who choose thesis want to do it. Motivated research produce original work, not copied captures. Okay, let's see. Imagine two students, one forced to write scripsy, one chooses research because they love it, which produces deeper academic contribution. The second student, because passion, not obligation, fools quality. The next point is about educational adaptability. Government built a multi-track framework: research pathway, portfolio pathway, innovation pathway, applied capstone pathway. The mirrors global academic evolution. Universities no longer evaluate one dimension but multiple. Okay? Government stand with modernization, skill orientation, research freedom, and student equity. Opposition stand with one path, one outcome, and one gate. The world is not one-dimensional. Graduation should not be either. Government wins this debate. Thank you.
Universities have many different fields of study. Design students, communication students, engineering students, and edge. They all need different skills, but Skripsi forces everyone to use the same format, a long academic paper. This makes the system unfair. A single research paper cannot show all types of skills. Many students need practical work, project or portfolios, not a long thesis. We are not against research, but making Skripsi the main recruitment creates a lot of extra stress. Students often experience anxiety, burnout, delayed graduation, even financial pressure. Not because they don't understand the subject, but because the format is too difficult and too rigid. Education should support students, not cause mental health problems. Many universities around the world already provide the options. Students can graduate through internship, capstone project, portfolios, case studies, applied research, community service, project. These methods are more flexible and often more useful for real jobs. Giving students choice helps them show their true abilities. Because Skripsi is forced on everyone, some students feel pressure to copy other people's works, buy Skripsi from online service, hire someone to write it. This shows that the system doesn't work. Instead of improving academic honestly, Skripsi actually makes it worse. If we remove Skripsi as the main recruitment, students can produce more honest and meaningful work.
Okay, thank you, Salim, for the answer. Okay, I will extend opposition differ from the macro national perspective. Skripsi is not a barrier, it is intellectual infrastructure. Point 1. Shallow knowledge base. Portfolio output can be superficial. The example, a student designs an app for rural literacy. It looks good visually, but no user research, no impact study, no ethical consideration. Research prevent thick but shallow problem solving. Point 2. Global competitiveness. Academic reputation is measured through publication, research grants, journals, peer review. If undergraduate research disappears, postgraduate capability weakens. The world does not respect degrees without research background. Point 3. Transferable competence. There are 5. Research teaches argumentation, data interpretation, evidence validation, bias detection, defensive reasoning, and no portfolio teaches all these at once. Point 4. Reform instead of removal. Reform approach is wiser. Earlier research training 1 year, writing consultation labs, mandatory anti-plagiarism workshop, better supervision, load distribution, upgrade but not eliminate. For the closing, government builds graduates for short-term employability. Opposition builds scholars who withstand global intellectual competition. We oppose. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for both sides. And now I finalize the opposition architecture. First, purpose of university. Government sees university as skill certification, but opposition sees university as intellectual incubator. Both are valuable, but degree demands intellectual depth, and portfolio does not guarantee that. And also talking about evaluation fairness, government calls Skripsi unfair, but portfolio grading becomes far more subjective. Who decide creativity value, who weighs originality, academics writing is the most measurable assessment. And also, the long terms and short terms, how government solves student stress today. Opposition builds intellectual resilience for life, but research trains patience, analysis, revision acceptance, and the foundation of mature thinking. Lastly, identity of higher education without Skripsi. What distinguishes university from polytechnic? Academic institution without academic component lose their identity. Well, we do not defend outdated tradition, we defend academic strength, we defend future researchers, we defend the nation of the intellectual backbone. And of course, we reject this motion. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much everyone for the statement. Thank you very much my friend Tigas and Salim, and thank you for opposition team Monica, Wisnu, Akbar, and Olivia. For all of the statements, we will reconsider about the final statement. Maybe it's gonna be on the final week, and all of your opinion in here are matters. Because you guys are mandatory, and thank you very much once again for attending this meeting, this debate. Okay, so once again, I'm telling you, we're gonna reconsider about the final statement. So thank you very much, and good afternoon. See you again.